Welcome back. Now, is it the Supreme Court of Kenya or the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution that is deliberately sabotaging efforts to have former Finance Minister Chris Okemo and former Kenya Power boss Samuel Gichuru extradited to the Jersey Island for prosecution on corruption allegations? According to the Attorney General Paul Kihara, the Supreme Court is yet to rule who between the AG and the DPP has the jurisdiction over the matter after the office of the DPP filed a petition after Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the Attorney General. The big question is, why are the two offices fighting over who to execute the extradition? Or is a standoff and the delay in issuing the ruling deliberate? Our senior political affairs reporter Duncan Haimba with more.
On the law.
It now emerges that a supremacy war between the offices of Attorney General and that of the Director of Public Prosecution could be responsible for stalling the eagerly awaited extradition of former Finance Minister Chris Okemo and his co-accused former Kenya Power Chief Samuel Gichuru, a revelation that came to the fore following a question by Bureti legislator Japheth Mutai, a matter that puts the Supreme Court on the spot on why they are dragging their feet.
The first case, Bwana in this country, where we heard of extradition was the case of Gichuru and Chris Okemo. Extradition proceedings against them. What happened, Bwana? All of a sudden, the case has gone silent and Kenyans are asking what's going on, because that would have set the benchmark on issues of corruption dealing with high-profile persons.
The case is currently before the Supreme Court. There is a difference of opinion between the office of the DPP and the office of the Honorable the Attorney General as to who has jurisdiction in these matters. There was a decision of the Court of Appeal which put that jurisdiction under the ambit of the office of the Attorney General. The DPP was dissatisfied with that interpretation and has moved the matter to court. So it's in the Supreme Court. Once a decision is determined by the Supreme Court, we will have a way forward.
In an interview on KTN's Checkpoint, British High Commissioner to Kenya Nick Haley said Jersey Island is only awaiting the extradition of the two before it remits to Kenya proceeds of graft stashed in offshore accounts.
But Jersey's waiting for the extradition process to go through the Kenyan court so that those men can be sent to Jersey. They want to have those guys there to prosecute them, and they want to give the money back.
Speaking at the National Anti-Corruption Conference early in the year, NASA leader and AU Special Envoy Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta touched on the matter.
Where people tried in absentia in Jersey Island, found guilty there, that we're not able to find them guilty here. We're not able to expatriate them to go on first trial, yet we are demanding that the money should be brought back here. Contradictions. So we must bite the bullet and go that extra mile to deal with this cancer of corruption.
We must all ask ourselves, are we with Kenyans in the war against corruption, or are we against them?
In 2018, Kenya and Jersey Island signed a pact that was hoped would kickstart the extradition of Okemo and Gichuru, who are facing graft and money laundering charges in Jersey Island and accusations of receiving kickbacks from contracts. A court in the Channel Island issued warrants of arrest against the two on 20th April 2011, and the High Court validated their extradition. 8 years later, and no extraditions. Duncan Haimba, KTN News.